Welcome to the exciting and new podcast. This is a mini. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
I'm Dana.
And that's no one.
Do we have to announce that there's no guest?
I like to make people think that they might hear another voice coming in, but then nothing comes in. It's me again, and they're like, turning this off. I don't have a lot for this week, but I'm going to tell you I watched a movie, came out last year. It's called Bones and All. Starring Timothy Chalamet. I love this kid all of a sudden.
I don't know that movie.
This is the one where he...
Yes. Is it the girl who does something?
I don't want
What's
to give
something
away
we're
too
talking
I know.
much.
I thought from the trailer that there might be eating of something involved.
Of what? Gross.
Came out in 2022. It says a young woman embarks on a 1,000-mile odyssey through America where she meets a disenfranchised drifter. But all roads lead back to their terrifying pasts and to a final stand that will determine whether love can survive their otherness.
I don't even understand what any of that means.
The otherness is they have something. There's a sickness that they have.
Oh.
And the sickness that they have is they need the taste of real human blood.
Okay.
Does that mean they're vampires?
It means they are cannibals.
Okay. All right. I thought that's what it was, just from little snippets I've seen. Okay.
It's really good. I enjoyed it. It's on.
Back then, I was seeing a lot of clips of it on places, but I never got to watch it.
Timothy Chalamet. I don't know what it is. I just watched him in Wonka. Now this. I love the kid.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for him and Kylie. I really am.
I'm rooting for him in Dune too, that's for sure.
But that's all I have. I started Dream Scenario. I'm only 20 minutes in on that.
And
I'm
what's
looking
that?
forward to finishing. That's the Nicolas Cage one.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I remember you talked about that last week.
So I'm looking forward to finishing that one up
Wait,
later on.
is that on something?
Yeah, it's on The Thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on the thing where you can watch
It's not
it.
available yet. No, you have
Okay.
to buy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a cam. There's a good HD quality copy
Yeah,
out there.
it was perfect.
That's what I'm watching it.
Yeah. Do you stream it to your TV?
I do sometimes, or if I'm like just laying in bed and I just want to.
Yeah.
I don't want the TV on, just my iPad.
Yeah.
It's perfect
okay.
on that.
Yeah, your iPad's perfect.
Yeah.
I don't like to hear about all this piracy. I watched the first 45 minutes of Napoleon last night.
Can't wait to watch
in
that
between me trying to figure out how to watch the movie we're talking about today.
And where'd you watch that one at?
Yeah, it's from Apple Films, directed by
It's on
Ridley
Apple.
Scott.
You got that on Apple, right?
Yes.
Yes, he paid full price.
And
It's
Joaquin
$24.99.
Phoenix. I was talking to
No.
Connor about it a little bit this morning. I was like,
He didn't like
He
it, right?
hated it, right?
I don't remember exactly what he felt about it, but I told him I watched the first 45 minutes. And he was like, "Yeah, I liked it that far in." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I don't think he liked it.
One of the things I really liked about it was Joaquin Phoenix is Napoleon, and he's just speaking like Joaquin Phoenix. He's not putting on any kind of like French English accent or anything like that. I always find it funny when you're in France and you've got a bunch of people speaking English with a French accent. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. And so he's speaking American English, and there's a couple people in his cabinet that are speaking British English for some reason, and then there's some other people speaking French English also. But so far so good.
Yeah.
I was talking about like I
another
said,
long one.
like Connor, Ishmael, and I were talking about this morning, and I know a little bit about Napoleon. I know this movie has gotten ravaged because of how historically inaccurate it is. But since I don't know that much about him anyway,
Yeah.
I guess I'll just watch it and have fun. Like I was saying, I hated Bohemian Rhapsody because of how not like the real world that movie was.
I was going to say, you don't know how all that really happened, so you can't say that.
Yeah.
But, that's everybody has their own story to tell. So we're getting somebody else's Napoleon story. That's basically
And
it.
apparently the book's amazing. I have it on order, Napoleon of Life, but it's like 900 pages. So get back to me in 2027 when I finish that, or I've started it. But that's all. That's
Are you going to watch Beau is Afraid to compare Joaquin Phoenix's performances
is he
in
in
those
that
two
one?
movies?
That's the X, or not the X.
No, that's the Hereditary,
Hereditary,
Midsommar director.
Yeah, I still got to watch Midsommar, man. I'll see
You
if
don't
I
need
can
to
talk
watch those in order.
No, I know.
You know what I mean? That's just-
And I've already seen Hereditary, but I got to talk Michelle into getting back into that.
Yeah.
Because
I want to watch Midsommar again, I think, actually.
that's Frances Pugh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I like her a lot,
yeah,
but not
she'll-
enough to watch that.
Florence.
Oh, what
Isn't
did
it
I say?
Florence, right?
Florence, yeah.
What did I
Did you
say?
Francis.
Oh,
I think.
did
I think he said
I
Francis.
didn't notice. I read what that movie was about, the whole plot beginning to end, and I was like, okay. I just
Midsommar?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
because it just seemed like a movie that would bother me to watch it, but I wanted to know what it was about. So I was like,
You
let
should
me find
watch
out.
it. It's
I don't
very-
know.
it's-
You told me
it's
some
done
stuff
really
about
well.
Hereditary.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
you didn't
happened-
even watch that, right?
No,
Hereditary,
you
man.
told me something about like getting decapitated.
Yes.
And I'm like, nope, that's an immediate no for me. Like I can't. And I know they were kind
child.
of
Yeah.
connected.
child.
Yeah, so I
And then
nope.
he goes home and goes to sleep.
Just walking off.
And
Walking
then,
off.
Remember when they go back? It's just all the flies and stuff
that
around.
poor
it
girl.
and everything, yeah.
Did you finish Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Okay, and
Oh yeah, that's my other one. I
Oh,
watched
oh,
Thanksgiving.
oh.
No, that's right. I forgot that I even had
Yeah.
that. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving was fun.
yeah, wasn't it fun?
Yeah, that was really good.
Now, did you go back and compare it to the trailer?
no, I should go back
Yeah.
and watch the trailer. I
You
forgot
should.
to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But
it would be funny if they actually put the trailer before the movie.
that would have
Yeah,
been
right.
Yeah. I'm looking
That's
forward to it.
dopey.
I think it's a new Thanksgiving tradition.
So
now is
gonna
that-
I'll
watch
never
every
watch it again.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
Is that the last of the Grindhouse? Like, has everything else been made into a movie now? Oh, I guess
Don't hasn't, and the SS
Oh, SS Werewolves
Werewolves
of
of
the
Zombies or something like that, right?
with Nicolas Cage, right? It's like Fu Manchu or something
Oh my
ridiculous.
God.
That one has the possibility of being made. Now that you think about it. Nicolas
Oh,
Cage
man.
makes every other movie.
I know.
I
It
don't
really
even
does.
remember who created that one.
Yeah.
Like that's not Tim Roth or,
But Don't would be
Roth.
fun though. I think.
Yeah.
Even if it's a short film, you know what I mean.
There probably is one out there, but was Rubber one? Was
No,
Rubber?
that wasn't one of them. But that was a great movie.
What was the
Don't ask Tara about that. She brings it up all the time.
what was
Anytime
the
someone
Rucker
says something.
Howard one that came out around that time?
Hobo with a Shotgun.
That was one
That
of the
was really
Grindhouse
good.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was around the same. Another suggestion from you, and Tara was like, "We're not watching anything Jason just
That's a fun-
ever
Oh, but that was
again."
a good movie.
Yeah.
But
With
this was
Shotgun.
what 10 years ago that Rubber came out. She still brings this
It's probably
up.
been like 20 now. It seems like
Brings it
Yeah,
up
I think
constantly.
it
We're
might be
not
15,
watching that.
yeah. It's
Well,
been-
yeah, that makes sense then because if it was when she worked there, that was
Yeah.
14 years
Logan,
ago.
Logan was pointing out just before you guys came in that 2019 was 5 years ago. I was like,
That's
is
crazy.
that
Oh my
is
God.
impossible that was 5 years
Yeah.
ago. Man, COVID fucked up everybody's time, man.
It really
really
did.
It erased like 3 years from my memory because we were going over Super Bowls. We were talking about the Super Bowl. I'm like, oh yeah, the 2019 Super Bowl. I remember that one and who the teams that were in it. I was like, that was like 3 years ago. He's like, 5. I'm like, no. And then he rattled off the next 5 Super Bowls. I'm like, damn. I'm like,
I know.
What did you watch, Dana?
Well, I started watching a show called. Well, I watched the first season of a show called Hightown. It's on Stars, and no, I wouldn't recommend it.
anybody in it?
Yeah, but
Are you going to watch season 2?
no, but Tara is. Season 2 is already out. Tara's gonna. I told her she could watch it without me. It's okay. It's a like police. You know, someone's murdered, trying to track down whoever did it. Whatever. It's set in Cape Cod in Provincetown, which is like I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's
I've been there.
a very gay town.
Very gay.
So it's a lot of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So and which Tara likes all that kind of stuff, but I couldn't get past. I just didn't.
Tara likes all the gay stuff?
Yeah, you know, Tara loves. If there's a gay, she's just the other day mentioned, I'm going to watch the L Word again. I'm like, this will be your 5th time watching this show.
You watch Community, so that's
This woman,
Okay.
Tara is,
that's Tara's Community.
But that's Tara's Community. That's true.
Tara is such an enigma to me, man. Like, oh my God. Like, because I worked with her for 5 years, really close with her, and this surprises me.
What,
Yeah.
the L Word? Or
No,
that
the
she,
fact that, like, she's so into the community, because I would have thought she was very not into the community.
She is in the
even though
sense
she's
like
a member of said community.
she likes the TV shows. Like she liked Queer as Folk. She loved
Did
that
she
show.
like?
She watched.
Did she say to you like, "Why aren't we like that?" Like, I
No.
want to be.
Does she like always root for the gay?
No.
Like if there's a specific character's gay, and does she
No.
always root for that person?
Like
or-
she would never go to a parade. She's not going to have a flag. She
Okay,
doesn't care
all
about
right.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But she'll watch every single television
So
show.
maybe that's why I got that impression of her. Maybe I asked her one time, like,
she
"Are
in-
you going to the parade?" And she was like, "Fuck you." I'm like,
Yeah,
sorry.
probably.
Does she like RuPaul and those kind of
No,
shows?
no,
Yeah.
no. I don't like that kind of stuff either. Even if it wasn't.
I like RuPaul though.
Yeah,
As like a person.
definitely.
I think
It's just it's a fashion
like
show.
he's a
so
good
that
interviewer.
doesn't.
Like I've heard him get interviewed. He's he's a very interesting guy.
I know
Yeah.
very little about him.
I think it's just because it's a show about fashion, and I don't care about fashion. It's,
Yeah. If it
you
was
know,
something else, you might.
If it was
into
about
yeah.
like hoodies and jeans,
like
I'd be
you
like,
like
all
him
right.
hosting that game show he does, Lingo. He does lingo.
Does he
Does he
do Lingo
really?
now? When I watched Lingo, it was
Is that the one where you
a
pull
different guy.
the letter out of the
Yeah.
pouch and
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that
Yeah.
old version.
It was
Was
RuPaul.
it Chuck Woolery
Chuck-
back
Yeah,
in
it
the
was
day?
Chuck
Yeah.
Woolery.
Yeah.
I used to have that game on my phone
But it's
too.
funny, you
yeah.
don't like fashion, so you don't watch RuPaul's Drag Race. But like Michelle has
No.
never danced in her life, and
But
she
she likes,
loves
so you
like
think you can dance?
So you think you can dance
Oh,
and all
really?
that crap? I'm like, why are you watching this? She's like, they're so talented. I'm like, watch a stand-up comic. They're talented too.
No, but I like baking, so that's probably why I like
Yeah, well,
Is
that
It
makes
Cake?
sense.
Some baking shows I can get into.
Well, yeah. But no.
I like that one on.
What's the one where
Mikey Day is a cake?
Yeah, Is It Cake?
No, what's the other one?
There
Oh,
were-
Nailed It or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
crazy,
Nando's,
too,
yeah.
yeah.
I think I
Those
could
people
bake
are
like
really
those
bad.
people, but yeah, I think I would end up on a Nailed It type of show. Yeah.
I don't know how
Nailed
that,
It.
that
It's just
came
so
up
funny
today
because
at
you
work.
just see like the house is like melting. It's just like
Yeah.
it's supposed to be standing up, but it's just like melting and like flat.
Yeah.
I don't know why Michelle was talking this morning about the guy, the male host on that show, Jacques, whatever his name is.
Oh, okay.
The women from the Met came in today, and they brought a cookie from his, I guess,
Oh.
or they brought cookies in from
Oh, nice.
his,
Did it bring
his
in
bakery store.
I didn't get a cookie.
Well, I got a corner of one. Michelle's like, "You want some Jacques blah 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 cookie?" I'm
what
like,
kind of cookie was it? Was it
I'm
like a chocolate chip cookie?
But I was just like, I don't know what that is. And she's like, he's the guy from Nailed It. I'm like, what now? What are you talking about?
Was it good?
Oh, it was awesome. But we're on a diet now. She's like, how many points is this? She's like, all your daily points. I was like, I'll just have chicken for dinner. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, I've lost 7 pounds already. I feel
Nice.
so much
Nice.
less. I can almost tie my shoes. Almost. I remember we were talking that one time
Are you
about
doing Johnny Dangerously?
I remember we were talking one time about like the angle of your shoelace tie. You know, the closer it is to the side of your foot, it's just how
like,
fat
if you
you
pick
are
up your
because
foot,
you have to pick your foot up on the side and tie it rather than bending over it and tying it. I'll be
my
able
God.
to tie my shoes one day.
So other than that, I've watched The Curious Case of Natalia Grace.
I keep thinking you're
Are
going
you
to say
caught up?
Benjamin Button every
I know
time you guys
it's
say
a
that.
long title.
Are you caught up?
No,
Okay, so
I
you don't have
like
a surprise ending yet. Okay.
no. I'm 4 or 5 maybe episodes in.
Surprise ending of season 1 or 2.
Season 1 or 2?
Season 1.
Oh, you didn't even get to season
No,
2 yet. All right.
no. Andy, you need to watch it.
Michelle, you go up here after
I
this
know,
podcast
I
and tell
will, I
Michelle
will.
that we have to watch it because
It's
she was
not-
like, nope. We
It
watched the
is-
trailer. She was like, no way.
It is. Listen.
Just for Michael, right?
There's 5 times in an episode where I'm like, she's 8. No, she's 20. No, she's 8. No, she's 20. No. How can they do that? She's only 8.
I'm still doing that.
Why are they doing that? She's 20. Like, I keep going back and
Now,
forth.
how long ago does this story take place? Or is it current
It's pretty
today?
up
Like
to current.
1999, I think, is when she was supposed to come over.
No, they adopted her in like 2010.
Yeah, they did, but she was already 8 years old. So she was like
Yeah,
1999.
well,
she came over
So
from
she was
Ukraine.
born in 99.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I was going back to
Yeah.
the Ukraine.
Oh, when
days.
she was born. Yeah. Well, supposedly.
Do you know, without spoiling, like, is this still going
Yes.
on? Like, is this still like a
Yeah.
thing? There are fights over, like, I guess you.
I'm not gonna say
I guess
anything
you
'cause
can't.
I don't wanna
guess-
spoil.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You can't say
I know
anything.
that when
By
I'm
now she's got
watching-
to be 18 at least. Right?
Yeah.
She's of age now, yeah.
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 Season 1 that I'm watching is showing the father in 2022
I saw that
having
guy
an
being
interview.
interviewed on the patio or whatever, and
Yeah.
I
No,
saw-
that's a different guy too. There's
Oh.
a priest in season 2.
There's a
this
priest.
this was just like the first 5 minutes
Was
of
he
season
white
1.
or was he?
He was white.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I think he's the dad.
Yeah,
I saw because
Yeah,
they were showing
yeah.
pictures.
He's the adoptive dad. Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah.
Okay. They were showing, and it's funny because I know I asked you last week, and they were like referencing Orphan, like right in the first like 5
Yeah.
minutes. I was like, that's
It's
what I
a
said.
lot of it is very much like the orphan.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, if you remember, did you watch what was that one with Stephen Avery?
Yeah, making a murderer.
Making a Murderer. It's that thing where you go back and forth every he
Yeah,
did it. He
you
did
go
it.
back
do it.
and
He
forth,
did it.
exactly.
Where you're so convinced one way or the other. So with this, like, the whole premise is they don't know how old this girl really is.
Right.
Supposedly 8 when they adopt her.
You know-
Or is she 22? Somewhere around that. But sometimes you see a picture and I'm like, that is an 8-year-old. How could they do this to her? And then in the next thing, you're like, oh, there's no
Put her-
way she's
They
freaking
put her in
8.
her own apartment.
Yeah.
In like a bad
To live
part
on
of
her
town.
own. Yeah.
And then they put her in an apartment where the front door is very steep, like 6 steps, and
Yeah.
then 13 steps going right in once you open up the door. So she's going up like 19, 20 steps
Yeah.
just to get
And
into her
she has,
apartment.
like,
and she's
12-inch
almost,
legs.
like crippled.
Yeah.
like,
Her legs
you
are
know?
like this long. And they're kind of bent
And, like,
weirdly.
her
So the
foot
way
is-
she has to,
She has her shoes are like very
yeah,
different. Each one is different because it gets her to have them even.
Yeah.
Her feet are even.
Is this? I got to get Michelle to watch this. I
Yeah.
have questions.
I think- yes, I have questions,
Is
too.
she? Like, is she knowledgeable of what is going on?
Yeah,
like,
that's
is
the
she
thing. But
doing
yes.
it on purpose?
But
or?
there's a way. There's times where you're like, well, she wouldn't know any better. She's 8, and they're
Right.
like, no, she would know.
But then there's other people that say she's like this. She's coming on to them sexually
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's like you don't know if she's 8 or 20. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
It really is. You're
Yeah,
back and
and
forth.
you feel bad because you see some things that her adopted parents are doing to her, and you think, okay, even if she is 22, she still is disabled and needs
She needed some
care.
help. Yeah.
Sounds
so
like she needs
they,
care, yeah.
even if she is 22, the things they do,
Even the
like,
age she's at now, she
you
needs
can't-
help.
They're
Yeah.
horrible people, and the mom seems to me like she is the worst of the two. And you've seen the things her dad does because he's the one being interviewed.
And then his
But it's
sons
crazy.
are even a little.
Oh yeah, his son.
Okay.
But
Woo!
yeah.
so.
It's,
The hot
it's good.
mic?
Yes, I saw that. That was where I ended. That was the last thing we saw. And I really wanted to watch
Anyway.
another one, but Tara's like, no, I gotta go to bed.
He goes, oh.
He's like, I'm an idiot. My mic's on. I fucked up. Yeah, you did.
So one of my New Year's resolutions was that I was going to try to listen to an album a day forever. And
Okay.
so I went on a website that generates it's taken from the 1001 albums you must listen to before you die. So I was like, all right, it gives you the next one. You rate the last one, it gives you another one. I'll just go over what I've gotten so far.
That's a really cool
And have you
concept.
listened to it no matter what it
Yep.
no matter what it is?
Yeah, and all of them have actually been pretty good, except for I got Curtis Mayfield. There's no place like America today, which I'm not anti Curtis Mayfield. It's just not my kind of music. It's like really like quiet.
That's the
soul
avant-garde,
music. It's just like
jazzy kinda?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just kind of like this is not for me. And in fact, I listened to it. That was my Sunday one, and I listened to it while Michelle was still getting her pedicure. I sat in the car and listened to it, and I was like, "This is going to put me to sleep."
That's good
Oh,
to
that's
sleep
really
to,
cool,
yeah.
though.
But I
That's
got,
that's a cool idea.
Television, Marquee Moon.
Oh,
that
that's
was
a
the
good
first one. I got
album,
a great album.
By who?
Television.
70s punk band, New York City.
Oh, okay, never heard of them.
You listen
Okay.
to them, you're like, oh yeah, this is a 70s punk band. Like
Okay.
they
They
sound
came
like
up with like Talking Heads
Yep.
and Blondie
Oh,
and all
okay.
that. Yeah, they were part of the CBGB's movement there with
Pixies,
Ramones.
Oh,
And
okay.
everything.
Pixies, Bossa Nova.
Another good album.
Yeah. Aretha Franklin, Lady Soul, which has like all her biggest hits
I
on
was
it
gonna
and stuff
say,
like
with
that.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was her 16th album.
Wow.
God damn. It's like 67 or something like that. And it was her 16th album. And I was like, wow.
Holy
like,
cow.
That's
and,
good.
And, you know, she's got people writing a lot of her songs. She's doing like Chuck Berry songs and whatever. You know,
Yeah.
She's doing other people's music, but still, I mean, she's got a great voice.
That's
She's
pretty
awesome.
damn good, yeah.
The Strokes, Is This It?
Is that their first album?
It was
or-
their second, I
Yeah.
think. And that was good, not great. I wasn't a huge fan of
Is that
that.
the cover? Is it black and it has like a goldish looking color?
I don't
Like
even
an
remember
arrow?
now. Can I click on this and show you real quick what it is?
I'm just trying to think of the album in my head. It's all right.
It's that one.
Nah, I didn't.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of that one. Raw Power, The Stooges,
Another
great
good album.
That's
Nice.
hip hop.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're like a punk band from the 70s
Yeah.
also.
From Detroit.
I've heard of them.
Detroit. Leonard Skinner's, pronounced Leonard Skinner, which is their first album. That's Freebird.
Is that working for MCA?
No, it's Tuesday's Gone, Three Steps.
Give me back my bullets.
Give Me Back My Bullets, Freebird. What
Those
are the
first
big
few
songs?
albums have all their hits. They're great. Yeah.
And then today's album, like when I clicked
From
on
Florida.
it, when I clicked on today's album, I was like, well, I don't even have to listen to this because I've heard it a million times already.
We
No, Synchronicity by the Police. I was like, okay. So
definitely knows you. You know, picks an album
Well,
that you know that they know you would like.
I mean, I'm sure eventually they're going to give me some albums where I'm just like, nope. Like they're going to give me U2
Well,
War.
I'm surprised that
They're
you
gonna
got
give
all
me-
that.
yeah.
I'm surprised you got all that stuff that kind of like hits your.
I
you know,
don't,
like
I
your
don't know
demographic.
where this 1001 out, like nothing has come up yet where it's like, you know, Beethoven or something like that. You would think there's a Beethoven out
Oh.
there that I must hear. But I don't know if
Yeah.
that's on this list
But
at all.
is
I
that
don't know if it's just.
Is his stuff considered an album? See, this is considered an album.
And it's not.
His stuff that's considered each song was considered a piece. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
okay,
Like
yeah.
not necessarily.
Well,
an
yeah,
album.
because they weren't releasing music
Yeah.
that way. But what are you doing this on?
It's this website called 1001 Albums Generator. And you can see
and
like
it plays the music from the website.
Well, no, then I go to Spotify.
Oh, then you go to
I go to
Spotify.
Spotify.
Okay, gotcha.
You can see I've rated 8 albums for an average of 4.13. My favorite decade is the 70s, since most of these albums seem to be coming from the 70s.
Now,
Hard rock.
So, like, if
new
I
wave
did it,
rock.
I'd have
Okay.
different songs each day than you would, because it
would just
it starts to.
I don't know if it would give everybody the same exact. If everybody got Synchronicity today or not, I don't know if that's
I
the
wonder
case.
how that works.
Like my highest rated album so far are Lady Soul, Leonard Skinner, and Synchronicity. Those are my 3. I guess I
Interesting.
gave them all 5s.
Can you like shuffle it if you're like, I'm not in the mood for this today? Can you
I haven't
shuffle to a
skipped
different
anything
one?
yet.
Okay.
But you could just rate it. All you have to do is rate it, and then it'll say.
And
it'll give
what do you
another
go
one.
1 through 5? Is that what it is?
stars.
Oh, so you could do more in a day if you wanted to
Oh
on
yeah,
that site.
sure.
Okay.
And
gotcha.
you can not listen to it and just phony rate it. You can just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I get that.
You're
5
just
If
stars,
you've
doing
whatever.
it
heard
each
this,
day.
yeah.
That's your
Yeah, I'm doing one by one.
Especially if you've heard it a million times.
But I'm still going to listen to it.
Yeah.
Like when Master of Puppets comes on, I'll listen to it all the way
Yeah.
through. Like I listen to Synchronicity all the way through
And
today.
it's helping you pick that first album to listen to.
And it's funny because like the Leonard Skinner one, I was listening yesterday while I was like cleaning up after dinner, and it's from the 2013 remastered version of it. So then it went into like the demos that are on the end of that, because whenever they do the remasters, they add tracks to
Yeah.
it. And like I was like, what am I listening to all of a sudden? Because it was one of their songs, but not a good version of
Yeah.
it. And then I was like, oh, this is just a demo version. Because you hear them talking. I'm like, what? They put this on their first album and people liked it?
now, who came up with that list on that website? That website, or did they pull from like
No, there's a
Rolling Stones or something?
It's not Rolling Stones because
Rolling Stone
did
does
the top 500, but
yeah.
okay.
there's a website out there, 1001.
Okay.
I think there's like 1001 movies, books,
Okay.
comics, everything.
I didn't
you have
know if
to-
it was like they did a survey or
No,
they
I'm
pulled
sure
it from
it's some
somewhere
kind
else.
of
We should do the
Yeah.
movie one in 1 week. We have to do the movie that gets picked.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That'd be fun.
La Cage aux Folles. That's in French. I don't even know
Oh
that
my
one.
God.
We'll make
yeah.
sure we pick one that
Yeah.
gets into our decade
Yeah.
and everything like that. But you know where to find us, right? Spreaker and all those other places. It's the Exciting and New podcast on all our socials. Download, rate, subscribe. Smash that like button. Is that what the kids say? I don't
Smash
know. You know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. It's been the Exciting and New mini podcast, and I'm Jason. Oh, wait. It's the Jazoo on Instagram, Jazoo74 on Twitter. I'm Jason.
Hey, Gonzo1 on Twitter. Hey, Gonzo1970 on Instagram. I'm Andy.
Dana Caps on TikTok and Twitter. Dana Cap 77 on Instagram. I'm Dana. Goodbye.